What is up, everyone? It is Dan. Welcome back to another episode of Guitar Talk. Hit the like button, subscribe button, all those things that help us grow. Roll that intro. What is up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Guitar Talk. Today we are looking at the Gibson Victory. This is the Satin model. The Gibson Victory is a model of guitar that was around in the 80s, which I always love the look of. They brought it back, we got one here, so I thought why not do a review. Checking out the specs at the body on this, it's a mahogany body, nice and lightweight. 80s tribute humbuckers, scratch plate, three-way switch, a volume and a tone with coil splits and selecting between inner and outer coils and a tune-o-matic bridge. Over to the next side of things on this, it is a mahogany set neck with a bound ebony fretboard. They call it a slim taper neck, so it's slimmer than I would say a 60s profile, just a little bit. It feels a little bit more 80s and shreddy. It's a bound ebony fretboard, 24 frets on this, 25.5-inch scale and a compound radius fretboard. Sounds and tones that you can get out of this guitar, these 80s tribute humbuckers are very versatile but very high output. So this thing handles high gain with no issue. And then with the coil splits and the addition to be able to select between the inner and outer coils as well, you can get a big array of tones. So you can do bluesy stuff if you want. You can do that kind of single coil, not quite stratty sound, but you can definitely get single coil tones out of it. But they are, to me, quite high output humbuckers. So this thing really excels in rock and kind of metal territory. Quality on this, I'll be honest, a little bit hit and miss. For the most part, very, very good. I've always loved the body shape. When you look at this from a distance, it looks like it's been done very, very well. The actual carve of the body, the neck, all that kind of stuff, no issues there. It's the little things like the knobs haven't been put on straight, either of them, so they're a bit wonky. So when you turn the controls round, they've got a bit of a wonk on them like that. I know that's an easy thing to sort out yourself, but you shouldn't have to on a guitar that's like full price, nearly £2,000 in the UK. Big major issue that we had when we got this one in, you could not plug it in. There's a bit of wood that goes sort of across here on an angle, and the jack socket, if you think about what a jack socket looks like, where you've got that bit of metal, the contact that comes down, was pushed up against that piece of wood. So when you plugged a jack socket plug into it, it wouldn't connect, it would just stop because there was nowhere for that contact to move back and snap in like it normally does. So I actually had to take this out and flip it around the other way so you could get a jack plug into it. That raises a few concerns for me. I mean, as I say, you shouldn't have to do that on a guitar that full price is nearly £2,000, because Gibson's come with a little QC card that's been signed off to say all the electronics work, everything's been set and checked up. How would they know the electronics work when you could never plug it in? So little things like that, you shouldn't have to find on a guitar at this price point, which sadly does let it down. Other than that, stuff like the actual, as I say, carve of the body, the general build quality on the shell of it, all very, very good. Setup on this straight out of the box, for the most part, again, very, very good. Very comfortable to play. Once the strings have been stretched in, the intonation was in and everything. The action is not the lowest. You could probably go a little bit lower if you wanted to, especially for that kind of 80s shred kind of stuff. There's a few little things like sharp fret ends on some of the frets, which, you know, again, at this price point, USA made £2,000 guitar and all that, you shouldn't have to sort sharp fret ends out yourself, but that is sortable. As I say, for the most part, setup on this out of the box, very, very good. Would I play one of these live? And as usual, by that I mean, if I was going on tour for a year and someone said you can only take this model of guitar with you and that's all you're allowed to play, would I play one of these? As I mentioned earlier, I've always loved this body shape. I've always had a slight hankering for one of these, especially with the Tune-o-matic bridge on this one rather than the old like Kahler bridge systems and stuff they used to put on them. I would have no issue playing this on stage live. It's lightweight, super comfortable to play. The neck, as I say, it feels to me a little bit thinner than the 60s profile neck, but it's not like Ibanez thin, so you can still kind of, there's a bit of roundness to it. It fits nicely in my hand. I love the way it plays. So yes, I would play one of these on stage, and with the combination of controls that you've got, there's a big array of tones you can get out of it, like I said, so it's going to handle anything that I want to throw at it. Is the guitar worth the money? Now, in the UK at the moment, these are, you can get them for 15, 16, 1700 pounds. I think they've been reduced a little bit recently. Is the guitar worth that money? To me, no, it's not. You know the Les Paul tributes that they did a few years ago that were sort of 900 pounds-ish, I think, around that kind of price. This feels like that kind of quality. It's been made in the USA, yes. It's not a familiar shape that Gibson do these days, so that is kind of cool. It comes with a cool hard case, but in terms of quality, with the little sharp fret ends, the lack of care with putting the knobs on, the fact you've got to flip one of those around, that kind of stuff, and maybe it's just the satin feel. I love the satin feel, but it does not feel like a £1,700 guitar. It feels like one of the Les Paul tribute, Les Paul Junior kind of style guitars. That is where I would price this personally. If it was $899, I'd be saying go for it. If it was £1,000, I'd say, hey, go for it, check something else out around that kind of price point, but this is definitely a contender. At £1,700, if you said to me, hey, I want a really good value guitar that is worth that kind of money, do you think I should look at one of these? I'd say no, look elsewhere. Really, really cool guitar, don't get me wrong, but I just wouldn't personally want to pay that much money for one. Is there anything that I don't like about the guitar? Now, aside from the little issues to sort out on this particular one out of the box, you might get one of these and it might be perfect, but aside from that, the only thing for me that I'd change is maybe put something a little bit less hot in the pickups. I know this is like a tribute to the 80s model, and in the 80s it was all about the shred and the metal and all that kind of stuff, but for me, I would put something a little bit less hot in there. I know you can do classic rock tones and all that kind of stuff with it, but to do it a little bit more convincingly without having to adjust your tone to really take into account I don't even know what the output of these pickups are other than say they feel really hot, but just something a little bit more classic in there for me, and then it would be absolutely great. So that, and then the only other thing I don't like is maybe the price point that they've priced these at, but other than that, I absolutely love this guitar. So there we go, to sum up, the return of an ultra cool model that I've always really, really liked. I love the way this feels in my hand. The neck profile is awesome to me. This is the Satin green model. I'm not sure if it looks that way on camera because even when I opened the case, it looked black, and it's only when you really get it in the right light, the green starts to shine through. So it is a very, very deep green. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Is this a model that you guys always wanted back? Is it something that you thought, why the hell have Gibson done that? I've always liked it. Let me know if you got one. And so there we go. To sum up, the return of what I think is a really, really cool Gibson model. It is the Satin dark green model. It is very, very dark. When I opened the case, I thought they'd sent us the wrong one. I thought they'd sent us a black one, but when you get it in the right light, this dark green, I'm not sure if it comes up on camera, this dark green really starts to come through, sort of like a metallic satin finish. I really like it. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Have you got one? Was it worth the money? Did you have the same little issues that I had when I got mine out of the box? That would be a really interesting thing to know if they're all like that or if it's just this one. Yeah, let me know. And other than that, like, subscribe if you want to, all those YouTubey things. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.